Hello guys, myself Jiten and I'm going to discuss a very important topic of geology third semester. It means the final year of M.sc. So here we are going to discuss about the physiochemical changes during the process. And this is a slide that is presented by the geology department Uday Pratap College. And this is submitted by the Shreya Pandey, M.sc third year, third semester. Okay. So here uh, we are going to discuss about the content like definitions and its occurrence and types of metamorphosis and metamorphosis in amphibians and metamorphosis in insect. Okay. So let's talk about metamorphosis. What is definition? Radical transformation from the larval life to the adult stage involving structural, physiological, biochemical. A radial transformation from the larval life to the adult stage involving structural, physiological, biochemical, and behavioral changes. If we talk about the definitions, it means a transformation of any larval life to its into the adult stage, uh, including its structural form, physiological form, biochemicals, and its behavioral change. It means it is a type of transformation process from in which a immature form of adult forms into a two or more distinct stage. It means it having a two stage. Here you can see that here you can see just I will demarcate that. Okay, so okay, this one. Okay, here you can see that this is a egg, and this egg is literally converted into the larval stage, as you can see here. Then this larval stage converted into the pupa state, and this pupa is converted into directly into the adult housefly. So this is a life cycle of the metamorphosis that is shown in the housefly, and its scientific name is Musca domestica. As you can see here, that this is a transformation from a egg to larval stage to pupa, pupa then after that adult. So this is a transformation. Okay. Next one is where it is formed, where it is found, and their occurrence in most metazoans phyla, beginning with the porifera, amphiblastula, and end with the amphibia tadpoles. It means these animals are undergone the direct indirect development. It means their development are occur inside, not inside the body. Their occurrence or their developments are considered indirect development. It means they develop outside the body. So here just you can see that a hierarchical phylogenetic tree of the chordates listen to the other animals, highlighting the chordates groups and that are known to undergo metamorphosis. Here you can see that this Cnidarians, then after that it's converted into the annelids, mollusca, nematodes, arthropods, hemichordata, echinodermata, cephalochordata, urochordata, cyclostomata, conductisians, teleosteus, sauropsids, mammals, and later on amphibians. Okay, so amphibia, mammals, and sauropsids are the tetrapods, and this is a very important topics. So in this video we are going to discuss about the amphibians only. Okay, so we are going to discuss about only amphibia, not anything else. Okay. Okay, what is the significance of larval stage, how it can be significant? Okay, let's discuss about the feeding and growth. Then after that we are going to talk about the reduced competition within the species, thus increasing chances of survival. It means uh, anything that feeds their larval stage or their young ones, leads to their growth. And if we reduce the competition, it means within the species the increasing the chances of their survival is pretty high. Okay, let's talk about the metamorphosis insects type of metamorphosis. Okay, the metamorphosis are occurring to the three states. The first one is the direct development or the ameta bolus development. Okay, just you can keep remember as a direct development, and next one is the incomplete metamorphosis, and third one is the complete metamorphosis. Okay, let's talk about one by one. Okay, the direct development, also known as the a metabolous development, but it is not so important, but you have to keep these definitions. Okay, occurs in primitive wingless insects at apterygoda. It means they are the wingless, they are considered as an insect, but they are wingless. Okay, it having, they are wingless, no wings are present. Okay, so the young emerges from the egg is similar to the imago, differing from its only in size, immature reproductive organs, and the external genitalia. It means their young ones are emerges from the eggs, and which is similar to the imago, which is similar to the imago, and it is differing from only in size. It means uh, they both are looking similar to each other, but their size are different. It means immature reproductive organs and the external genitalia is also present in both of the species. Undergo a series of post-embryonic molds without any particular changes in the general appearance. Okay, actually, here just you can see a word that is called the post-embryonic mold. What is mold? Mold means something when any organisms wants to grow, and their outer structure, that is called the epidermis, restrict its growth. So this kind of animals mold their cell, mold their epidermis, and grow into the adult. So these moltings are occur in a very repetitive manners. Okay, next one, just you can see here, lepisma. Lepisma, just you can see here, this is a nymph. This is a nymph that is coming from the egg. It means egg is converted into the nymph, and this nymph is converted into the adult. Just you can see here, this egg is converted into the nymph, and this nymph is similar to their adult one. It means there is nothing changed in its metamorphosis. It means there is a molting. Okay, just you can see here, here is antenna, here is also antenna, here is some further mm, bifurcation. Here is also, just you can see here, this is 1 2 3 4 5 6, 3 4 5 6. Okay, just you can see here, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so everything is caudal filaments or anal cereals. All these things are pretty much similar with each other. Okay, let's talk about the incomplete metamorphosis. It means also known as the hemimetabolous metamorphosis, occurs in exopterygota. Okay, uh, in this group they are known as the nymph. Their young ones are known as the nymph and the neots. Okay, they have the some general appearance like their adult, but lacks wings. It means uh, in their at nymph form, they are very much pretty much similar to their parents, but in case of adult uh, having wings. Okay, so they have same general appearance at the adult, but length switch which generally appears through a series of mold. Okay, move on to the next one. Okay, just you can see here, this is a egg, and this egg is converted into the nullards. Okay, and this nullard, or we can call it the nymph, just you can see, call it as nymph also. Okay, so this nymph is further get converted into the nillard, emerges from water. It means the nillard is habitat in water, and this nillard emerges from water, and then it's get converted into the adult. And here you can see that this adult having a limb, and this cycle is goes on and on, and this would be heaven. This is a dragonfly, just you can called, you know this is just like a dragon. They have some wings, and that helps to fly. Okay, let's talk about the complete metamorphosis. Okay, okay, this kind of insects are called as endoptericota insects. Okay, there are two stages in between egg and adult. The stages are larval and pupa. Okay, so complete metamorphosis means key. It means there is a very different stages from their nymph stage to their adult stage. It means their larval stage to the adult stage. There is a series of metamorphosis occur. In each series, they look different to their each structure. Okay, so the egg emerges from into a worm-like larva. Okay, if we talk about their egg, egg is just like, just you can see here, egg is just like here. Okay, and this is look like a larva. Okay, and this larva is get converted into a adult structure, and which is uh, pretty much very different from the young one. Okay, so let's talk about some examples just like that. True flies, diopteras; moths and butterfly, lepidopteras; and wasp and bees, hymenopteras; and beetles, coleopteras. Okay, okay, these are some examples of complete metamorphosis. Let's take some views of, and there is some diagram, just you can see here. This is a diagram. This is a complete metamorphosis in housefly. I will explain you how it can be possible. Okay, this is a egg, and this egg one egg from this egg, this larva is developed, and this larva is further get converted into the pupa state. Okay, this pupa state is looks similar to this, and this pupa state is further converted into the adult housefly. Okay, this housefly then continuously revert their life cycle, and this cycle is goes on and on. Okay, so next let's talk about the hormonal control of insects metamorphosis, and this is a very important with respect to your exams. Okay, so here is a molting. Is a molting and the metamorphosis are controlled by the endocrine hormones. What is endocrine? Endocrine, it is a gland. Actually, this is a ductless gland. This is a ductless gland. Okay, what is ductless gland? In which a gland that secrete their secretion into the blood, and the bloods further circulate into their body, and those hormones that are dissolved in the bloods, that can be used by the required body parts or body organs. Okay, so these hormones of the brains and the associated glands innervated by brain. Okay, these hormones are controlled, or the signals that is uh, coming from the brains, that the endocrine glands have to be secrete out the hormones. Okay. Okay, so insect molting and the metamorphosis are controlled by the two effector hormones. Okay, there are the two effector hormones that helps in insects molting and metamorphosis. Okay, there is a molting and metamorphosis are two different state. In which molting, I will told you earlier that in which the larval stage are never get converted into the adult form. It means they are molt there, they shed their skins and molt into the adults. It means their young ones are look similar to their adult. But in case of metamorphosis, each and every stages they look very different to their adult. Okay, and these are the two effective hormones. That's the two hydroxy ecdysone and the lipid juvenile hormone, that is called the JH. One is a promoter hormone and one is a inhibitory hormone. Okay, so how these two hormones are works, let's see. Here you can see that uh, 20 hydroxyecdysone initiates and coordinates each modes and regulates the changes in gene expression that occur during metamorphosis. Okay, just you can see here that the 20 hydroxyecdysone initiates and coordinates each modes. It means it can initiate and coordinate each modes and regulates the change in gene expression that occur during metamorphosis. It means these are the two hormones that can act as a regulator and as a inhibitor. It means they are work in a very specific manner. Okay, the next point here that juvenile hormones prevents the ecdysones induced change in gene expression. It means juvenile hormone inhibit the ecdysone hormone, and this ecdysone hormone inhibit the juvenile hormones. It means they are the antagonistic to each other. Okay, that are necessary for metamorphosis. Thus its presence during a molt ensures that the result of that molts produce another instar, not a pupa or not a adult. Okay, so during the molts, it is ensures that by these two hormones that the pupa, or just we can call it the larval stage, are not get converted into the pupa or any other metamorphotic stage. It get converted directly into the adult. So these are the very important hormones that are very significant in the hormonal control of the insect metamorphosis. Okay, let's talk about the secretion of the three organs are related to the process. First one is the neurosecretory cells that is present in the brain, and second one is the parathoracic gland, and third one is the corpora allata. Okay, these three glands or these three organs are very important if we talk about insects. Okay, and hormonal feedback. So brain, parathoracic glands, and corpora allata. Okay, so we have to know these things. Okay, okay, what are the pathways of hormone action, how it works, you know? Okay, if you talk about in response to the various stimuli. Okay, if in response to the various stimuli, the neurosecretory cells of the brain produce brain hormone, that is called the BH, brain hormone. Here you can see that brain hormone, ecdysotropin, protothoracic thrombotropin hormone PTTH, which enters the hemolymph via corpora cardiaca in many cases. Okay, so let's repeat this line once again. Here just you can see path of the hormone actions. Okay, in response to the various stimuli, the neurosecretory cells of the brain produce brain hormone. It means if our brain get stimulations, it secretes some neurosecretions. It means the neurosecretory cells that are present in our brain, it means it secretes the ecdysotropin, protothoracic tropin hormone, which enter the hemolymph. Hemolymph, a type of fluid that are present in the insects, in which the Carpora cardiaca in many cases. Okay, okay. What is BH? BH is here. I will tell you that it's a brain hormone. It's a brain hormone. Okay, so brain hormone. Okay, the brain hormone then stimulates the parathoracic glands to synthesize and release two insects molting hormone, MH, molting hormone, and BH is a brain hormone. Okay, under direct control of brain, the Carpora alata secretes juvenile hormone JH, which both JH and MH acts differently during various stages of development. Okay, both JH, both juvenile hormone and the both juvenile hormone and the uh, molting hormone acts differently during various stages of development. Okay, okay, okay. This is a very good talk about here. Just you can see here. This is a brain. Okay, this brain secretes the mm, what is called BH. BH is a brain hormone. Okay, BH is a brain hormone. uh, where it will be goes. Okay, brain is a okay, brain stimulates the brain hormone and it stimulates the prothoracic gland, prothoracic glands that are present in the thoracic region of the insects, in which the MH, molting hormone, if the molting hormones are secreted, this pupa is directly converted into the adult. Okay, if this molting hormone is converted during the larval stage, it converted into the directly into the pupa. If this molting hormone is secreted into the larval stage, it directly larval molt, it directly convert into the larva. Okay, if this juvenile hormone, juvenile hormones always retains its their young, retain its their young states. Okay, okay. This is the carpus alatum and corpus cardium. Okay, so here is some classic scheme for hormone control and metabolic in the holometabolous. Holometabolous, it means complete metamorphosis. Okay, that is called BH is a brain hormone, MH is a molting hormone, and JH is a juvenile hormone. Okay, so you have to keep in your mind how to read this. Okay, then the amphibian metamorphosis. What is the amphibian metamorphosis? Okay, just here is the word amphibia. Amphibia is something like in which those kind of animals that lives in a both land and water. Okay, a metamorphosis is a stage where okay, adult metamorphosis. Okay, let's talk about here from an okay, this is a fertilization. Sperm and ovaries are fused and the process is called the fertilization, and the cleavage takes places, and the cleavage takes place, the further divisions are happen, and the gastrulation. Okay, and this gastrulation having a blastocell cavity, and this blastocell cavity are get implanted or get converted into the three parts, three germ layer, that's called the ectoderm, mesoderm, and endoderm. Okay, these endoderms, mesoderm, and ectoderms are further get converted into a process called organogenesis, and the organogenesis contain this neural tube, neural. Okay, this neural tube contains neural tube form the brain and spinal cord in this amphibia. Okay, this is getting hatching. This hatching process are further get converted into the tadpole larvae, and this tadpole larva get metamorphosed and get converted into the um, mid tadpole larvae between adult and tadpole larvae, and then this larva getting converted into adult. Okay, and this adult produce its gamete. Male gamete produce sperm and female gamete produce eggs, and these two gametes are fused by a process called fertilization, and this process is uh, going on and on and on. Okay, so this is a very important now. Okay, two types of metamorphosis. Okay, metamorphosis may be two types, that is called the progressive metamorphosis and that is called the retrogressive metamorphosis. Okay, what is called the progressive metamorphosis? It means it is a metamorphosis in which the animals progresses the evolutionary grades, in which the metamorphosis can be at the progressive metamorphosis, that is called the most neurons of the amphibia. It means they are developed in their adult stage, their advanced character are developed, but in case of the retrogressive metamorphosis, their uh, advancement character are present in the larval stage, but in the case of adult stage, their advanced character are detricated. Okay, okay, here just you can see here, when metamorphosis takes place in direction lower direction, the animal retrogressive or the show indication of the degeneration in the scale of the evolution called retrogressive metamorphosis. That is acidia of the Urochordata or in neotenic forms like the salamander. Okay, okay. How it comes the salamander? Salamander remains their neotene. It's a neotenic form, and this is a retrogressive part of the retrogressive metamorphosis. Okay, so these are the some example of the progressive metamorphosis and the retrogressive metamorphosis. Progressive metamorphosis, it means here the base character or the advanced character are developed within a time, from time to time, and it will be progressed into the adult. But in case of retrogressive, it's get opposite to the progressive metamorphosis. Okay, metamorphic changes of the amphibians. Let's talk about the metamorphic changes of the amphibians. Here, Atkin have divided this into the three groups. Metamorphic changes of the amphibians, they are divided into the three groups. For the pre-metamorphic stage, second the pro-metamorphosis. Okay, first stage, the stage is characterized by the considerable growth and the development of the larval structure, but metamorphosis does not occur. The stage is characterized by the considerable growth and development of the larval structure, but metamorphosis does not occur. Okay, pre-metamorphic stage and pro-metamorphic. The stage is characterized by the continuous growth, especially the development of the limb and the initiation of the metamorphic change. Okay, so let's talk about the type. Next type of metamorphic change. First one is the pre-metamorphic stage. Second one is the pro-metamorphic stage, and the third one is the metamorphic stage. Just you can kept in your mind like pre-metamorphic, prometamorphic, and metamorphic climax. The stage is characterized by the radical change in the feature of the larva, and the climax is considered by the loss of most larval feature. It is this is a complete metamorphosis. This is a complete metamorphosis. Okay, this is a complete metamorphosis. Okay, let's talk about morphological changes associated with metamorphosis. Okay, metamorphosis, morphological changes. It's a outer structure in which you can see some changes. In case of the urodels and urodol, let's take an example of the salamander. Okay, just you can take an example of salamander. Just you can observe that These changes include the reabsorption of the tail fins, the destruction of the external gills, and the change in the skin structure. If you talk about in aerodactyls, just you can see that their tail fins are retrograde, they are absent in adult form. The destruction of the external gills, it means when they are developing from their larval stage to the adult stage, they lost their external gills and their skin structure is also getting changed. Let's talk about the anurons. Anurons means frogs and toads are classified or categorized into this category. Okay, so this is a retrogressive changes. It means include the loss of the tadpole, horny teeth, and external gills, as well as the destruction of the tail. It means here is something like, there is a loss of some character that is present in the larval stage. That is a very advanced character, but in case of stage, the advanced characters are degraded and no further advanced character are produced. Let's talk about the progressive changes. Progressive changes includes means of the locomotion changes as the pedal tail recedes while the hind limb and the forelimbs develop. Okay, so okay, then the cartilaginous, the tadpole cartilaginous skull is replaced by the predominantly bony skull of frog. Okay, in case of tadpole, there is a cartilaginous scale, but in frog there is a bony skull. So this is a progressive change that is seen in the um, amphibian. Let's talk about the next step. Next point, the horny teeth disappear as the mouth and jaw take a new shape. Okay, let's talk about the teeth. Teeth get disappear and the mouth and the jaw take a new shape and the tongue muscle develop. Okay, the intestine get large and shorten due to the more carnivorous diet, because during during the larval stage it feed on the herbivorous. Okay, so it feed on the plant debris that are floating on into the water, so they can feed that on, and after that they are converted into the carnivorous. Okay, carnivorous form, and their diets are carnivorous diet, and so the adult frog uh, are sorted in their intestine. Okay, let's talk about the gill. Gills are regressive and the gill arch degenerate. Okay, actually these gills arches are regress. It means they are not very much developed, but their gill arches are degenerate. Okay, let's talk about lungs. Their lungs are enlarged and the muscles and cartilage develop for pumping air and in and out of the lungs. Okay, their muscles help these these frogs to expel out the air and in. Okay, so this will help him out. Okay, the next slide, that is the biochemical change as well as the metamorphosis. Okay, what is the biochemical changes? Okay, let's talk about the major retinal photopigment is the phosphoropsin. Okay, the pigment change to the rhopsin. Okay, firstly this pigment the that noun is the porphyropsin, and then this pigment is converted into the rhodopsin. Okay, next one is the tadpole hemoglobin is changed into an adult hemoglobin. Okay, let's talk about the tadpole hemoglobin. Okay, next, the tadpole, like most freshwater fishes, are amniotic. It means amniotelic. uh, their excretory form are the ammonia. Okay, many adult frogs are ureotelic. It means they release the urea. Okay, there is some summary about the some metamorphic changes that is causing urea and neurons. That is called the system. larva, and adult. Okay, on the basis of their locomotory, okay, they are aquatic, tail, fin. But in case of adult, they are terrestrial. They can live on the land. That tailless tetrapods. Okay, their tails are degenerated or absent in as adult. Let's talk about respiratory. Okay, gill, skin, lungs, larval, hemoglobin. Okay, so these are the some primitive character that are present in the larva. But in case of the adult, the skin color, let's talk about lungs and adult hemoglobin are present. Let's talk about circulatory. In case of larva, aortic arch, aorta, anterior, posterior, and the common jugular veins. But in case of adult, carotid arch, systematic arch, cardinal veins. Let's talk about nutrition. Herbivorous, long spiral gut, intestinal symbionts, small mouth, horny jaws, labial teeth. But when they are getting adult, their intestines are short. They are proteus. It means they can digest, or they can easily break the proteins into the amino acids. Large mouth with long tongue. Okay, so their tongues are the protrusible. Okay, protrusible, it means ki they can elongate, or they can um, okay, let's talk about nervous system. Leg of nictitating membrane, porphyropsin. Okay, what is called nictitating membrane? Nictitating membrane is a covering on the membrane, that's called the nictitating, that protects the eye, little line, and mouth neuron. Develop at ocular level. Nictitating membrane is present. Rhodopsin, loss of the lateral line system, degeneration of the motor neurons, and tympanic membrane. Tympanic membrane is a membrane that is present in the ear. So these are the some characters that are present in adult. But in case of excretory, how they are excrete out? Okay, largely ammonia, some urea. That's called the ammonotelic. Largely urea, highly activity of enzyme of the ornithine urea cycle. That's called the ureotelic. Okay, the ornithine urea cycle is present in the uricotelic. Okay, let's talk about the integumental. Okay, thin bilateral epidermal with a thin dermis, no mucus glands or the granular gland. Okay, in case of adult, stratified squamous epidermis with adult keratins, well developed dermis, contains mucus gland and glandular glands secreting antimicrobial peptides. Okay, so these are the some summary of the some metamorphic changes in the neurons. Okay, let's talk about the hormone control of amphibian metamorphosis. Laterally we can talk about insects, and now we are going to talk about metamorphosis of, okay, the control of metamorphosis by the thyroid hormones was demonstrated by the Goddard Snatch in 1912. Okay, then uh, let's talk about who discovered and why discovered this tadpole metamorphosed prematurely when fed powdered sheep-thyroid gland. Okay, Allen. Let's talk about Allen. Allen is in 1916 found that when he performed a thyroidectomy, that larval never metamorphosed, instead becoming giant tadpole. It means when we remove the thyroid from the larval stage into the larval stage, the larva never get metamorphosed, and he don't become an adult. Okay, this this larva is become a giant tadpole. Okay, it means they are maturely successful, and they are able to mate with their partner. Okay, there is a thyroxine hormone T4, and this is a thyroidothyronine. This is the T4, and this one is T3. That is secreted from the pituitary gland. Not in amphibia. In human cases, these are also very much effective. Okay, so let's talk about. Okay, so here is the two hormones that is called the triiodothyronine T3 and triiodothyronine T4. These are the thyroxine are necessary for biochemical and the morphological changes during the neuron's metamorphosis. These thyroid hormones are produced by the induction of the anterior pituitary lobe or pars distalis when it reaches certain degrees of differentiation. Okay, it means these thyroid hormones are stimulated or given some information from the pituitary glands of pars distalis. It's a lobe